Hey guys, this is Lord Natsu here, and today I'm doing the second part of what I did yesterday, and basically I'm gonna keep doing this what if until I finish it. So yeah, this is pretty much be doing back to back for this what if. Now we left off where Sigurd just pretty much said hi to Peter, and now we get to Sigurd just saying, I'm just gonna spend some time with it, not cause it's like, alright then, I'll see you at night then. It's like, yeah, I'll see you at night. Because yeah, he still does his vigilante work and he always wears that necklace. With that necklace that I showed you last part. So yeah, and in that crystal in that necklace will be a plot point later down the line. And now we get to Izuku. Now we get to Izuku and Nakaza working together to make his hero outfits. Basically, all his hero outfits are going to be the reverse colors of his vigilante outfits. So yeah, he needs Nakaza help him finish them real fast. It's like, hey Nakaza, can you help me with these real fast? It's like, sure Izuku, I'll help you as fast as I can. It's like, thanks. I'm going to say this is a day off for him. Well, actually, no. Technically, he doesn't have to be there all the time for it, since he's a leader of the organization that the company he runs. So, and it's a big company. I'm gonna call it the Katsi. Yeah. The Cox Corp. Yeah, the Cox Corp. Basically, a corporation for technology. And Nakaza is one of the best people, pretty much one of the smartest people in the world at this point. Because, yeah, he's 70. If Iron Man was in this world, he would be 65% of Iron Man's intelligence. That's how much intelligence that Kaz has of Iron Man's. And I'm pretty sure Peter has 55. So yeah. And we see the base with pretty much Peter's side of the base and Izuku's side of the base. So yeah. When that bracelet, he pretty much designed it to where, for his vigilante button, he has to, he pretty much made it so it would be connected to, pretty much made the bracelet connected to his brain. So, he would just need to think. Oh, and the way that the bracelet works, when he touches his heater button, either one of the buttons, pretty much the suit he wants will pretty much, yeah, the ones that he has in the base are displays. He has each and every one memo pretty much shrink it down into his bracelet. So like if he just and he has the bracelet pretty much connected to his thoughts. Well, yeah, he just had it connected through his, pretty much had it, so it would be connected to his, like, only he would be able to use it because he only has this certain brain ways for it. Because he's made it so he pretty much connected it. He somehow connected it to his thoughts. I'm not gonna say how. I'm just gonna say he did that. And so yeah, when he touches his vigilante button, he only has to think of the vigilante outfit he wants to use at night. Because now he does his vigilante work at night. In a day, he just goes for his hero costume, which he only has to think of which one he wants to choose for each. Like, if he wants to go for vigilante outfits, he has to think of which outfit he wants for it to pretty much come out of the bracelet, pretty much expand from the bracelet and get put on him. And it's basically the same thing for the hero button. Now, and let's say Kirishima is the closest to the UA school. So pretty much, when you skip to the next day, Shuku's walking with his necklace on. I'm gonna say, okay, I'm just gonna make this version of Bakio more of a prick. And pretty much kind of hating Isuku's mother. But he still liked her in some way. So yeah, and Nasha sees Isuku's like, Isuku? It's like, oh, Nasha, here you are. She's like, so, how was your day? Like, how was your day? How did you sleep? No, actually, she would be like, so how's your day so far? It's like, it's fine. How about yours? And she's like, doing great so far. It's like, and then a little bit later, they meet Kirishima, and it's like, hey, Kirishima, how you doing? It's like, I'm doing fine. Oh, yeah. And yeah, he's still gonna have that red hair. Because yeah, originally he had black, but he dyed it red. So yeah. And since he only trusts those three, he's only gonna talk. Actually, the only people in class 1A he trusts is Nasha, Kirishima, and Uraraka. That's all he trusts. So he only talked to those three. That's it. Also, pretty much only the teacher, Eraserhead, and the three people that he's met, he'll only talk to. Anyone else, he'll talk to, pretty much barely talk to. I'm gonna say this. Nah, never mind. Okay, we get to when Eraserhead talks about he goes for his ruins, and I'm like commenting because like I'm going pretty much. Yeah, the only thing that's different with this online is that he's not a true hero. He's just a hero for the fame, not the money, because he has too much of it. He's like, I'm walking through the door like a normal person. And yeah, Nasha kind of sees where, yeah. When Nasha heard what happened to Izuku's mother, yeah, she kind of lost a little bit of. Pretty much, she liked All Might. She wants to have friend girl, but yeah, she liked him as a hero. But then, after that day, yeah, no, she didn't like All Might that much. And pretty much everyone, but pretty much Kirishima, like, he is not manly. Pretty much, it's like, pretty much, Nasha, Izuku, and Kirishima just. Izuku just has a disappointed face on his. Pretty much has a disappointed look on his face. Nasha just has a sad face on her look, and Kirishima just has a face of you're not manly, because yeah, Kirishima is like that. And pretty much, Izuku and Kirishima's relationship is like, well, first, Izuku, she's like, I need to get that manly, your manly thing out of it, Kirishima's mind. I just need to get that out of there, just in case that would be your downfall. And yeah, Izuku's thinking for the best for his friends and his team, and pretty much everyone he trusts the most. Oh, and by now, okay, now I'm gonna not say that yet, but I will after the USJ. Oh, and remember, Sugo has been training that regeneration power that he got from the spider. Yeah, the regeneration doesn't work if Izuku's pretty much if Izuku's entire brain gets either cut off from the rest of his body or completely destroyed, he cannot regenerate. At all. So he pretty much makes her the part that is at the tip of his, pretty much at the starting of his neck up, pretty much make sure that's the strongest part of that's like 2 times stronger than the rest of his suit. He makes sure that's the strongest piece of it. So yeah. Now we get to All Might say, what are heroes without costumes? And pretty much everyone's costume except Izuku's pops up. Oh, and Nasha kind of has something like Nana's, but a little bit different. She doesn't have the cape. And she doesn't have that red thing around her waist. She just has a no sleeve red shirt and black pants, and the gloves and boots are white. So it's like red shirt and pants and white gloves and boots. So yeah, and pretty much, yeah, when I see that Izuku's outfit didn't show up, pretty much everyone except Nasha and Kirishima are like, huh? Yeah, they see one costume missing, and she was like, no worries, I'm prepared for this. And like, okay. And yeah. Oh, and pretty much the only hero is trying to bring down, pretty much the only way is trying the most to bring it to Shadow Spider in is Eraserhead. But he's never been, pretty much all the heroes whoever's tried can't even see him or even find him, because nowadays he does his vigilante work invisible, basically making his webs in himself invisible. So yeah, barely anyone can see him. But pretty much he makes it so if he's hanging someone from a high place, he makes the webs visible at that point. So yeah. Sorry. And pretty much when everybody gets outside, oh yeah, and once the outfits are on, the bracelet is hidden. So yeah, and it's usually, oh yeah, and when he gets outside, everybody sees a outfit of a mostly red, and the lines of Ziku's costume black, and a spider with a spider emblem on it. And pretty much everybody's like, pretty much Nasha and Shimmer like, and Araka like, well, that's a cool costume. It's like, thanks. And yeah, and when Eraser sees it, he goes like, so why is your costume like that? And it's like, well, I based it off the vigilante Spiderman's costume, and it made my own version of it. Yeah, and when everybody sees his invisibility and electricity powers, yeah. For as the world knows, the Shadow Spider doesn't have electricity powers. When they see the invisibility, they'll be like, when you have an invisibility like that, Shadow Spider's like, it's not impossible for someone to get the same quirk as another person, isn't? Am I right? So like, usually it's uncommon to get a quirk like someone else's, but it's not impossible. And pretty much everybody's like, yeah, you're right. And the shoes, pretty much when he's in his vigilante costume, he acts and moves completely different. So yeah, and when you get to the heroes versus villains part for Izuku, and we're gonna take out. We're pretty much gonna put Nasha with Izuku and Moraka with where Mineta would be in canon. But Nasha took his place, so yeah. Because Mineta didn't even try for it. Anyway, he's like, so, what's the plan, Nasha? It's like, pretty much she says that she'll use her quirk to fly fly up to find where the bomb is, and then you'll do whatever you need to do. So yeah, I'll probably need to take out Bakio first. Yeah. Oh, and his fighting, and he does have a bow staff. He basically for his vigilante work, he does the unarmed artist Spartans, but when he's in his heroes, in the while he's doing a hero thing, he uses the armed art of Spartans. So yeah, he's basically made a bow staff. That pretty much has the same design as his costume. And he can also channel electricity through it. It's one of the strongest. It's made out of one of the strongest materials he could find. One of the strongest metals he could find. So yeah, and shoot. And I'm gonna say there's a island that is not. There's basically has only animal, while the animals. Pretty much it's just a forest that's not been found, which is an island, and it only has animals and trees and plants there. That's all it has, and it has a certain type of metal from the MCU. Yeah, if you guys know what I'm talking about, you'll like it, because that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, basically they win. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna go over what happens in the fight. Basically, what Zuko's just running towards running through the building to get to the top. And basically he knows exactly where the basically he knows how to open his. Wait, no. Pretend I didn't say that. He basically knows exactly what Bagio's about to do. So when Bagio turns the corner and is about to fire the explosion, Suga just jumps straight up because, yeah, Bagio didn't expect him to jump. He just thought of him dodging in some way. Just not up. So when Bagio just looked up, Suga just basically, when he was lying down, he just tilted himself towards Bagio and put his feet, and pretty much slammed his feet against Bagio's face. And when Bagio got slammed to the ground, he was like, Bagio, you idiot. And then he pretty much grabs him from the back of his hero costume, and then chops him on the neck, and goes like, you idiot. Lays him down, puts the capture tape on him. And then he goes out to where Ida put the bomb. And not just there and trying to do it, but she's having a little bit of a hard time. But then when it's Yuga gets there, he's like, Nasha. Oh, and yeah, his hero costume does have the web shooters. And then he just, like, she blitz swings. He pretty much, no, he doesn't do that yet. He'll do that to USJ. It is like, pretty much kick straight for the, pretty much kick, it's about to kick Nasha, but she was like, no. He pretty much speeds over there and grabs Ida's foot and goes like, "Watch your surroundings, Tenya." Yeah, and pretty much tosses him. And then he speeds over to the bomb and touches it, and almost like Hero Teens win. And yeah, everybody is pretty much surprised by how fast Izuku is. And Baguio is just being an angry Parliamentarian and just making those type of noises. Yeah, pretty much Baguio on himself on top of the world, but now his ego has his pride and ego has pretty much been to Izuku, Nasha, and Kirishima. He's just a pick. Because yeah, Nasha and Kirishima can't fight without their quirks. And Nasha pretty much has to. Because her quirk only allows her to. You gotta do that. But Nana could do. Now, we get to after all the hero versus villains fights. And then Eraserhead talks about the USJ. And yeah. She was like, "Girl." Oh wait. Then he's like, "But first I need you guys to figure out who will be the class representative." And pretty much only Kirishima, Nasha, and Shuru just say Ida. Yeah, immediately all three of them just say Ida should be the class representative. And Ida's like, "Wait, what?" Because yeah. Suga just says, "Well, Ida, the way you act makes me think you're the perfect person for class representative." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And yeah. And she was like, "And the one I see that could be this is the other person that represents our class would be Momo." And she was like, "Oh, why?" She's like, he just gives his reasons why. Basically, every reason why she would be the best for that position. And she was like, "Oh, okay." And yeah, that's how they did it. So yeah, then we get to pretty much eat it. Now we get to the lunchroom, and yeah, Shiku has. Oh, and he pretty much. Yeah, when everybody took out their hero costumes, all they saw Shiku do is have his arms crossed and have his eyes closed. Then a few seconds later, they saw Sugu's costume shrinking down into a bracelet. Like inside a bracelet. And pretty much everybody's like, "Whoa, what the heck?" Pretty much only Inasha and Kirishima weren't like that. But everyone else was like, "Well, what the heck?" But and Baguio was just like, "That damn nerd." And yeah, Toroku's like, "That's interesting." Because yeah, he would be interested by that. Everyone else would be like, "Whoa, what the heck?" And she was like, I don't think any of you would be able to understand how I did this." And all of them are like, "Wait, you did that?" And it's like, "Yeah, I made this myself. Heck, I even made my costumes." I made them to. I made my costumes to my best abilities. And if I'm correct, all my costumes can only be damaged by damaged by something very powerful, like for example blue flames, which I'm pretty sure is a quirk called cremation. Yeah, they're like cremation, but it's like, yeah, basically harder than Endeavor's flames. And he's like, and I think one of you already knows him way too much. For example, Todoroki Shoto, aka Son of Endeavor. And yeah, she was pretty much been talking about Endeavor with a Venom. Because, yeah. Actually, no, he would almost talk about almost every hero with Venom. And yeah, only Izawa would try to save. Pretty much, the only heroes he sees as true heroes is Eraserhead and Midnight. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure Midnight. Yeah, in this world, Midnight tries to save as many people as possible. And Eraserhead, I'm pretty sure he still did that in the first place. And yeah, All Might doesn't try to save as many people as possible. He just saves people. Yeah, that's all. So yeah. And then one person just goes like, and one of the people in his class is like, hey, where did you get that? And I was fine. And so just, when that person is finished talking, I'm gonna say this is the frog girl, and you could just stop for a second, holds onto it and goes like, I would not like to talk about that, please. Don't bring it up again. And it really is, lets go of his necklace. Yeah. Well, technically doesn't know what he's talking about for that necklace, so yeah. Soto pretty much looked very closely to Zuko's emotions. Because yeah, as far as I could tell, Todoroki is the one that is pretty much the only person in that class that would be able to see pretty much see any sad emotions. The easiest would be Todoroki Shoto, because of his past. So yeah. So Todoroki is like, so he had a bad past too, or something like that. Now we get to when everybody goes to. Now we're gonna skip to when everybody goes to the USJ, and pretty much everyone talks about their quirks. And see what this says. No, just no. And yeah, he doesn't like to talk. He will not talk to anyone he doesn't trust, at all. He will not tell any students that he doesn't trust 100%. So like, if he sees someone that will backstab him, he will not tell them anything. Like, no secrets whatsoever. Now we get to the USJ, and yeah, pretty much everyone is like, he's kind of weird, except Nasha and Kirishima, and they're pretty much like, hey, he just does, and both of them, and pretty much Kirishima and Nasha just say at the same time, hey, he just doesn't like to talk to people he doesn't trust. And pretty much everyone but Bloggy was like, wait, what? It's like, well, yeah. As far as, as far as we know, we aren't his only two friends. And they're like, oh, he must have been non-social. And he's like, no. Far from it, actually. He tried to get people to talk to him. Some people didn't even pretty much did some rude stuff to him. And he really doesn't like to talk about his past. Yeah, both of them do know about that incident. Pretty much everyone does. They just don't know that Inko Midoriya was Izuku's mother. Oh, and since I forgot to give Naka's a last name, his last name is Naka. Naka. Yeah, Naka. So yeah. Oh, and now we get to the OSJ, and we see, I think it's twice. I mean, that, I'm just gonna say that here with the black hole clerk, and she pretty much says that Quartz can be dangerous. And she was going, it's like, you're right about that. And right now, he's just wearing, he's pretty much not in his hero costume yet. And yeah, then she asks, excuse me, young man, but why aren't you in your hero costume? It's like, don't worry, I'll have it on in a second. And then he sees a, then he sees a portal open. He's like, raise your hand. He's like, yeah. Is there fake heroes? I mean, is there fake villains, or are those actual villains coming through that portal? And he's like, he immediately looks down and goes like, no, these are real villains. He's like, got it. And he touches his hero button, and he thinks of his most powerful suit, which especially he made. Oh, and for Vigilante and hero costume, he's made one suit pretty much for each, basically for Vigilante and hero. He's made one costume for each one that combines all the situation into one suit. And it basically has it's basically a red and black version of this one. So basically, mostly red and some of it black. So yeah. And Eraser has like, It's like, when he sees this new costume, it's like, huh. And then Eraser had go like, Midoriya, how many costumes do you have? It's like, I have made many for any situation I would possibly be in. And this one, I have made this one just in case. I've just in case I've ever encountered more than one situation at one time. And the director is like, you think a little bit too. You look ahead. It's like, yes, I believe anyone that's smart enough should be able to do it. Someone like you raise your head. It's like, It's like, I believe that you are one of the only smart heroes in this society. And Richard said, oh, well, thank you. It's like, well, yeah, but first, he pretty much, like, oh, and his necklace pretty much is hidden as well. So yeah, and she's like, Ida, it's like 13, protect the heroes, protect the students. Ida, go get this teachers. It's like, got it. And he pretty much rushes towards his UA school. He's like, good, now, erase your head. Will you allow me to help you? He's like, of course. He's like, no, I need to keep all of you safe. It's like, no, you need help. Fighting out just one person fighting all those people is a disadvantage on itself. But not knowing their quirks is another disadvantage. And you need all the help you can get. It's like, alright, Midoriya, I'll allow you. It's like, thank you. And he's like, now. He's like, he pretty much his thoughts is like, bring it up. He pretty much thinks of showing it pretty much slightly, pretty much having his spider shooters show up on his wrist. In it's like, when you see Suku's wrist, he's like, what? He's like, I did say that I based my costume off the Vigilante Spider-Man, didn't I? He's like, oh, that means like, yes. He's like, I can do this. And he pretty much webs once he sees two villains come out, he immediately webs them. And these two are very low ranked villains over there, and he pretty much webs both of them and pulls them straight towards him and punches both of them in the face. He's like, good. And he pretty much, then he swings himself straight over there, and yet it's like, raise your head, grab on. And pretty much raise your hand across his hand, and he pretty much swings over there. And then he lets go of his web, and he pretty much, while he's falling, it's like, actually, before he lets go, it's like, raise your head. Do you think you'll be able to land just fine at this height? It's like, I think so. And they're pretty much high enough to where any human that hasn't trained their body that much can easily land. Alright, and he let's go out of Erase Your Head at the bottom of the stairs. So Erase Your Head can easily do it. And Zuko just swings onto swings all the way into the middle of all those villains. And then he lands it, and he pretty much knocks down one of the villains that is in the middle. And then he immediately starts taking out all the villains that are there. Yeah, and Eraserhead, he pretty much attacks them from the inside. Well, Eraserhead does everybody from the inside. And then he's like, and now he has it so his hero and vigilante costumes have the earpiece inside the costume. So like, Zuko just, well, he's fighting. He's like, Jarvis, alert Peter Parker of the situation. It's like, and Jarvis like, right away, sir. And he pretty much, then Peter hears, yeah, and we see Peter in the base. Well, actually, no, in his, in Jarvis, it's connected to Peter's and Aunt May's house as well, so you can talk to them too as well. Then Jarvis says, Peter, it's like, yes, Jarvis, it's like, we have a situation at the USJ. It's like, the what? It's like, there's villains at this location fighting students. Well, attacking. The UA is under attack, and the location the students are at is the USJ, or the UA compound. It's like, I'll be there. And then he says, Master Midoriya is fighting the villains actually speak. It's like, in which one? It's like, the under art of Spartans, like, good. And then he gets into his vigilante costume and swings over there. Now we skip 2 minutes later, and Spider-Man pretty much jumps through the ceiling. Well, yeah, into the ceiling. Jumps in through the ceiling. And they see and then when he looks at him and he goes like, perfect. And he goes, yeah, this is perfect timing. It's like, good. And he goes like, now, we'll do this. And he's like, he pretty much goes twice as harder now. Because right after he looked up, he looked back at the villain and he was fighting twice as hard. And pretty much he was like, this is not, pretty much thinking, this is not going as planned. And then, then when Spider-Man gets all the way down, it's like, yo. No, actually goes like, and when Eraserhead sees it, Spider-Man was like, what the? Why is he here? And Spider-Man's like, you need a hand there? And then Issue just says, oh, it's Spider-Man. Yeah, we could use some help. And he's like, you got it. And he pretty much takes out all the, pretty much helps Izuku fight off the, he helps Izuku fight off the, pretty much knock out the villains. And now we're gonna skip 2 minutes later, and all the villains except Shigaraki and Kirigiri are down. And Izuku's like, alright, you ready? He's like, Izuku's like, Spider-Man. He's like, yes, young man. He's like, we need to get that handyman. It's like, and Spider-Man's like, handyman's like, and it's like, what? It's like, pretty much says, what to Izuku? It's like, well, he has hands with his villain costume, so I just made up the name, Handyman. And Gabriel's like, and Eraserhead's like, oh, yeah, that's funny. And Spider-Man's like, oh my god, that is so funny. It's like, get your mind in the game, you two. Remember, we need to take down those two, just in case they have something we don't, something in the part or whatever, in that purple, that shadowy purple guy's quirk that we don't know about. And I was like, oh yeah, and they pretty much, Peter and, Spider-Man and Izuku just swing into action. And now, when Shigaraki tries to get, he actually tries to go for Izuku, but Izuku's like, oh no you don't, and he pretty much touches Shigaraki at his knee and puts channels electricity through his bow staff. And Shigaraki's, once he feels it, it pretty much goes all the way through his septum and makes him fall down. He pretty much goes onto his knees and goes like, ah, what the heck? It's like, easy. And he pretty much about to hit him with his bow staff on his neck to knock him out. And then Kirigiri brings the portal around pretty much under Shigaraki to make him go right next to Kirigiri. It's like, Kirigiri, bring out the no move. And it's like, wait a minute, no move. It would mean it's dead. A non-living creature. And he sees a new that looks humanoid, but with a bird-like face. He's like, I knew it. He's like, Spider-Man, erase your head. And I'm like, what? That thing is not human. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, you're right. It's like, and Eraserhead's like, how do both of you know that? It's like, 1, they call it the Nomu. 2, well, actually, Zuko just says this. 1, they call it the Nomu. 2, it looks humanoid but with a bird face. And 3, it's literally not talking. And Eraserhead's like, okay, yeah, you have a point there. So it's like, looks like I have to go use this one. And he pretty much grabs from one of his item pockets in his suit a giant great sword. Sword that looks like the dragon blade from from Berserker. She was like, and he's holding it with one hand because he's not strong. He's like, alright, he's trying to use this one. And Eraserhead's like, whoa, what the heck? It's like, time to go. And he pretty much sprints over there. He's a little bit slower, but yeah, he's still fast. And pretty much Shigaraki is like, no, Moo, attack them. No, it's like, kill them. And when no one tries to get them, yeah, Sugar just chops off its head. Pretty much goes straight down. And when the Nomu tries to block it, yeah, Sugar's sword just goes straight through the Nomu from the top of its head down. And he's like, nah. Sugar's like, and there's a big there's a crater and a shockwave after that. And Sugar's like, and he takes out the sword out of the ground. He calls it the demon sword. Demon blade. Yeah, he calls it demon blade. Because he designed it as to look like a demon type sword. And then he puts it into that pocket again. That item pocket. And basically, he's made it so his item pockets, pretty much he has a belt, but basically he has a belt, and whatever he puts in the pouches on his belt pretty much shrink to a perfect size for it to perfectly fit, to easily fit in there. Or actually, no, to perfectly fit in there. So yeah, it's like, dang it. And Sugar was like, no, that's not fair, that's not fair, that's not fair. And she was like, you should, whoever created this should have been prepared for this thing. Handyman. And Sugar goes, that's not my name. And Sugar, and she was like, well, I don't care. And then he tries to punch Shigaraki again, but then they escape. And she was like, fuck. And it's like, wow. And he's like, and then he tries to attack us. Then he tries to catch Spider-Man, and he's like, nope. And then Spider-Man just leaves. It's like, and then Izuku just thinks of the costume getting taken off him, and it goes back into his bracelet that he's made. And her head's like, and she was like, well, that was hard. And her head's like, now you're, what do you mean? That was way too hard. It's like, do you not see the way I'm built? It's like, oh, yeah. now and pretty much everyone's shocked on how big that sword was. Oh yeah, his sword is gonna be called Demon Slayer. He calls it Demon Slayer. Yeah. No. And pretty much at night, Arisa, Zuko and Pete and pretty much Charlotte Spider and Spider-Man are just taking down, pretty much taking down whatever they need to take down pretty much all villains or criminals. And yeah. For them, it's been mostly it's been mostly the people that basically Peter Parker's enemies or Spider-Man's. So yeah. And now we get to the USJ. And Spider-Man and Peter Parker was like, "Hey, I'll be there to watch it." It's like, "Thanks," and I'll make something for you. It's like, "What is it?" It's like, "Here," and pretty much tosses him a version of it. Pretty much, he gave him a copy of his own birthday, but it only has one button on it, and it pretty much has all the versions of Peter's costumes in there, and pretty much still in the one that and one like it's Zuko's, the all situation costume, and it's like, really? It's like, you made one for me as well? Yeah. It's like, yeah, I made it just in case. It's like, well, thanks, dude. It's like, yeah, no problem. But sadly, it's gonna be one day it's gonna mount one of the costumes that Spider-Man's gonna use on a certain date is gonna malfunction. And it's not gonna work correctly. So like the defenses on it won't completely work. So yeah. Now we get to the USJ, and she was pretty much the person that speaks for UA. Well, for 1A, it's like anyone that is listening to this out in the world, he's like anyone with the heart to become a hero that saves people. I believe if people just put their heart to it, they can become heroes, even if they have a quirk like a villainous type quirk. Anyone could use it for good. It's like if someone had a quirk that dealt with swords, they could use them to trap villains, not kill them. Stuff like that. And yeah, it's like, now, for the people of this school, do your hardest and try to get number one. Pretty much everyone's here because yeah, he made a statement that everybody will remember. Yeah, now we're gonna do a little bit of a flashback to when 1B did that thing, and pretty much Bakugo did do that thing, and pretty much everything happens, but Suku, Kirishima, and Nasha don't even pay attention to them. Yeah. When okay, when we get to the race, pretty much everyone is ready to run. Then Taroki does that thing, but Zuko easily gets out of it. But no, he doesn't even get trapped by it. It's just like, oh, and Peter is in the stands, pretty much watching Zuko. It's like, yeah. Oh, and we see Zuko just immediately get first. It's like, that was easy. And yeah, Naso gets second, and Todoroki gets third, and Kirishima gets fourth, and Akiko gets fifth. Then everyone else is the same. So yeah. Well, except Nana because he's not here. And Zuko's team is Nasha, Kirishima, Araka, himself, and that bird guy. So yeah. And they get first place. Because he's basically made it so, hey, what's your name? He's like, he pretty much tells them his name. He's like, okay, you'll be the rider. We'll be your horses. And they're like, he's like, oh, okay. And yeah, he's did this because he knows that this bird guy has this shadow, has dark shadow, which is a long range thing. So people that don't know how to counter it won't be able to get through. So yeah. And basically they get first place. Now we get to Sensho versus Zuko. And yeah, Zuko does have his necklace on. And when Sensho sees the necklace, he pretty much says, whoever gave you that necklace is a piece of trash. And Zuko is just minds. He pretty much snaps, but not in the normal way. Nasha and Kirishima are like, oh, you shouldn't. Pretty much both of them just. Peter, Nasha, and Kirishima are like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. And pretty much everyone in the crowd just look at, pretty much anyone around Peter just look at him and go like, you know, that guy's like, yeah, he's my neighbor. It's like, so what's so special about that necklace? It's like, well, that was supposed to be his 14th birthday's present from his mother. And they're like, supposed to be? And it's like, yeah, she did. And they're like, oh. I'm like, oh yeah, he did fuck up. Because yeah, you don't talk about a dead mother. Especially one that's been so hardworking and kind. And he was like, yeah. You just see Zuko's eyes just, like, pupils gone. Into a rage. Like, just his eyes completely turn white. Just nothing there. Just complete rage. And yeah, it came, like, pretty much everyone that actually paid attention to his eyes saw his pupils fading in and out. You know, Baku, like, no one, not even Nasha or Kirishima, has seen Zuko like this. And pretty much all they could hear from Zuko was pretty much him going from completely calm to angry ballistic. Like, he's not even acting normally. He's just complete rage. So yeah, when he sees, and when Sento said that, yeah, pretty much, Nacho, Kirishima, and Baguio, because yeah, Baguio knows, pretty much thinks, like, if anyone talks about a dead mother, they are dead. Like, Baguio would even be like that if his mother was dead. Yeah, pretty much all three of them, pretty much Baguio, Kirishima, and Nasha are like, ooh, that kid's dead. And they're like, why? And pretty much all three of them are like, yeah, no, we're not gonna talk about it. And they're like, oh, okay. And yeah, you could see there's... Sorry about that. Anyway, Zuku's just feeling mad and pretty much blitzes Sensou and just grabs his shoulder and punches him in the gut, making sure he's not knocked out, but still hurt a lot. Then basically throws onto the ground and basically just pounds into Sensou very, very badly. And Eraserhead's like, oh shit, and after a few seconds, Eraserhead was like, oh, that kid made him mad. And Midnight's like, whoever gave him that necklace must be precious to him. Because yeah, everybody can see Zuko is not stopping. And yeah, Eraserhead just jumps in there. Yeah, just because yeah, Zuko will calm down if anyone he trusts calms him down, and he slightly trusts Eraserhead. So yeah, Eraserhead can calm him down. Yeah, Eraserhead immediately ran down after a few seconds, and when he got there, he saw Sensou just bleeding now. And then Eraserhead just immediately grabbed onto Zuko, and yeah, Eraserhead starts like, calm down, Midoriya. It's like, yeah, he was pretty much growling at that point. Sorry about background noise that you might hear. Anyway, Zuko starts calming down after right after Eraserhead said that, and he's like, it's like, and he's like, I'm fine, Eraserhead. And I'm just gonna say this now. Zuko has something, and Zuko is just like, I'm fine. Eraserhead's just like, oh, and Zuko also has another necklace that he keeps under his shirt 24/7. And Eraserhead's like, so what made you get that mad? He's like, I'll show only you when we're in a private area. And it's like, okay. And yet, Midnight says that Zuko Midoriya wins. And yeah, no one's cheering because yeah, Peter's like, oh. And yeah, basically only Nakash, Peter, and May know about that necklace he has, and it's pretty much a heart locket. So yeah, and then Eraserhead and Suki get into a area where no one will be able to hear them or see them. And Eraserhead is like, so now could you tell me what? Could you tell me what it was? And it's like, I can show you instead. And he pulls his shirt up, pulls his shirt forward a little bit, and he goes down his shirt. And then Eraserhead sees a heart locket. And then he takes it off. And then he opens the heart locket. And he sees a green hair woman. In his Midoriya. And she looked old enough to be a mother. And Zuko closed his heart locket and then put it back. And put the heart locket under his shirt. It's like, that's why. It's like, oh. It's like, yeah. And this necklace, she was gonna give it to me when I was 14. But she gave it to it after her death. She gave it to her friend. And she's like, oh man. It's like, yeah. And you don't talk about a person's dead mother. Especially one that was caring for you greatly. And he's like, yeah, that kid messed up. He's like, yeah. No one talks about a dead mother. Or mentor. Just turning out in the sky. Yeah, then we get to Shoto's versus, well, pretty much Kirishima wins his fight this time. Asha wins hers fight. And basically we get to Shoto versus Shuku. It's like, and yeah, Endeavor tries to say that, but Zuko just completely ignores him and just walks straight to where he was going. And yeah, Endeavor's like, don't ignore me. When Zuko just ignored him, he's like, change your ideals first, then I'll see about that. And yeah, since Endeavor's like this still, so like, what the heck is he talking about? Yeah, then when we get to when it's Zuko versus Shoto, then yeah, that fight begins. Zuko's like, Shoto, use your full quirk. And he's like, It's like, your fire side of your quirk is not your father's. It may be from him, but he can't control it. He doesn't have complete, pretty much control of all fire. He's only able to control his, not anyone else's. And yeah, then Todoroki uses his fire. It's like, good, Todoroki. Now, let the real fight begin. And pretty much both of them go full power. And yet, well, before they could start, Endeavor pretty much does that thing, and Zuko just was like, fuck you. Pretty much mouths at, just before Todoroki could start, it's like, Zuko just heard Endeavor say that. It's just like, Todoroki, could you stop for a second? It's like, why? And then he points directly at Shoto's father. And Shoto sees the way he's acting. He's like, he's gloating, and he's like, yeah, he's gloating about you attacking him. He's like, do you want to shout it, or do you want or do you want me to shout it? It's like, I'll do it. It's like, okay. And then Toroku goes like, I still don't accept you. And everybody's like, fuck! Because yeah, he thought he accepted him. It's like, and yeah, when he pretty much said that, he's like, fuck! Because yeah, his plan is not going the way he wants it. Yeah, then we see it, and then she was like, now, shall we continue? It's like, yes, we shall. And then they fight. And then at the end, Izuku wins. It's like, not bad, Todoroki. Not bad. You just need to train better. That's all. And if you need any tips on how to increase your quirk's power, just come to me, not your father. He only knows about his fire, nothing else. And Toroku's like, oh, thanks. He's like, no problem. Now we get to Kirishima and Nasha fight. Nasha wins. And then we get to Nasha versus it. Then we get to Izuku versus Bakugo. And Izuku easily wins. Yeah. Oh, and if All For One tried to take away his quirk, they'd only take away intelligence. Nothing more, nothing less. It would pretty much be like, oh, you took away that. Heh. That's funny. And yeah, All For One would be fucking confused. Because pretty much no one knows about that spider thing. The spider experiment. Only Oscorp does. So yeah. We skip, now we go to pretty much Nasha versus Izuku. Let's do our best, shall we? Nasha, it's like, guys, of course Izuku was like, alright, let us begin. And they fight. And pretty much both of them are, well, Izuku's not showing his full power, but with the type, how much power he's using now, both of them are pretty much equal. Well, pretty much having a close fight. And yeah, but in the end, Izuku wins because he uses a slightly more power. And pretty much, she gets second. She gets first. And on that. And Bakio and Kirishima. And pretty much, I'm gonna say the third one is Kirishima. And so yeah. And hold on, let me check something. Okay, I'm gonna say that All gave the quirk to, tried to give the quirk to Mario, but yeah, Mario declined. And I'm gonna say that Mario fought Class 1A pretty much a day after the USJ. So yeah, because I don't know exactly which arc he did between. So I'm just gonna say he did between the USJ and the yeah, that one arc. Oh wait, the Hero Killers arc, that one. We pretty much did it week or month before that happened. And now we get to pretty much the meeting 3rd year's 3 best. And yeah. And when Izuku just sees Mario, he's like, huh. I wonder what his quirk is. And when he's in Kirishima, Nasha, and Izuku are in the very back, so yeah. And pretty much when Mario challenges 1A, he beats everyone. He pretty much first he takes out everyone but those three, and then when it comes to those three, Kirishima lasts the least longest. Yeah, now it's lasts a little bit longer, but then when he goes to his CQ and tries to punch him, he just dodges easily. He's like, pretty much. To him, it just looks like he's moving very slowly. But to everyone else, it just looks like he's moving more normally. It's like, is that the best you got? Or do you have more? And everyone's like, oh, that's new. Yes, yeah. And then he tries to attack him and yeah, then we get to 10 minutes later, and he's still not able to hit Zuku. And Zuku's like, how long is it gonna take you to realize that you can't hit me? Or when you're gonna get that? It's like, until I can take you down. It's like, alright then. And pretty much, another 10 minutes later, still can't hit him. 20 minutes later, can't hit him. So yeah, now it's like 40 minutes later. Pretty much, he pretty much been dodging him for 40 minutes. It's like, there's getting more now. He's like, and then he jumps to dodge Mario, then he knocks him out. It's like, alright, do you two want to fight or no? And they're like, no. It's like, okay then, I'm guessing it was just your friend. He's like, yeah. Alright then. And she was like, so. And then he waits for Mario to wake up, and he's like, so Mario, what's your hero name? He's like, a million. He's like, oh, I heard that once or twice. It's like, so you're a million. It's like, huh, you heard of me before? He's like, I heard of you once or twice before. I overheard people from your school year talking about you. It's like, no. And yeah, he's overheard third years talking about Mario. It's like, so. Okay, yeah, pretty much later this day, pretty much all want to make their names. Nasha has pretty much makes her name. You guys give me a name for her. Kirishima goes for his name, and she goes like, Demon Shadow. And they're like, what? It's like, Demon Shadow. And they're like, okay, because yeah, it doesn't sound like a villain name. It just sounds like a weird hero name. So yeah. And we get to intercept, and surprisingly, pretty much he gets a recommendation from that hero that has Mario there. Wait, Nine. Yeah, he gets a recommendation from Nine. He's like, huh, not surprising, because yeah, he knows of Nine. He knows now he knows of every single hero, even Nine. He's like, huh, not surprising. And pretty much Nasha and Kirishima go like, huh, what? They're like, what? Huh, I got a recommendation from Nine. That's something. They're like, who's that? It's like, that was, I think, a ex-apprentice of All Might. And they're like, oh, yeah, that is surprising. He's like, yeah. I'll see what he wants, though. Now we see a few seconds later, and Toroki just walks up to Izuku and goes like, so, about that advice, it's like, oh, that's easy. If you want to train both sides of your quirk, just pretty much make your ice as cold as possible and try to make your fire melt it. It's like, oh, that easy? It's like, yeah. Then once you see that your fire can melt it, just increase your ice, and that's a pretty much a permanent loop for you. It's like, oh, cool. It's like, yeah. I'm surprised your father didn't. It's kind of stupid how your father didn't think of that. It's like, yeah, he is pretty stupid. It's like, yeah, and I don't really see how he would help you that much, other than that with your fire. Other than that, I would say go. Oh, and I think you should do amends with your mother. And she's like, how did you? It's like, how would I not? It's like, look at you. It's like, either that was a water quirk that was really hot, or it was something that your mother accidentally caused, which was originally caused by your father's forced marriage. Because, yeah, Zuko would imagine a forced marriage happening with Endeavor. It's like, and yes, I would think of that. And it's like, but seriously, you should have amends with your mother so she can also help you with your quirk. Because she's also technically a source of your quirk. And he's like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, so if you make amends with her, she can also help you with your quirk. To help you with your eyesight. If Endeavor actually took care of you way better, he could have made you way stronger. He's like, really? He's like, yeah. If he made it so you would like your training, you would be way more powerful. And you would be at almost your full potential. If he also let your mother help you with your eyesight and him with your fire side. It's like, oh yeah. It's like, yeah. Your father is pretty dumb. It's like, oh yeah, yeah. And yeah, then we get to, and Shuko just sees Raid and pretty much bloodlust, well, pretty much vengeance in Ida's eyes. It's like, no. And he pretty much, he grabs his gets into his pocket and grabs one of his spider trackers, and pretty much flicks it towards Ida's back, and pretty much it gets into Ida's hair, pretty much, and it pretty much sticks to Ida's hair. So yeah, that happens, and Izuku's like, alright, that should do it. And now he goes to Night Eye's agency, and then Night Eye just wants, then there's the test, and Izuku's like, right after he said go, Izuku just hides his notebook, and goes like, that clipboard and the pen and a stamp, and it's like, he pretty much stamped it himself. It's like, here you go. He pretty much, yeah, Secret, he's so fast that I can't even see him do it. So he pretty much was so fast that he pretty much grabbed the clipboard and the stamp and stamped it himself and put it in, and put those things back in his hand. He's like, there you go. And now he's like, wait, what? Because, yeah, he tried to look in his future, but he barely saw anything through it. Because, yeah, he was going so fast. It's like, wait, what? It's like, how are you that fast? It's like, seek. And he's like, you don't tell your secrets, I don't tell mine. And he's like, okay. And he's, yeah. If someone doesn't want to tell a secret, he won't be able to get it. Like, anyone that tries to... Oh, and Izuku's mind, he's basically made it so if anyone took Jada mind control and tried to find out any of the secrets, he's basically made it so it would be locked inside his mind so deep that only he willingly would be able to tell them. So it's like, if Shoto tried to get one of his secrets, he wouldn't be able to, and be like, yeah, if he be like, tell me one of your secrets, when Shoto would say, tell me one of your secrets, he would be like, no, because yeah, that's how strong his mind is. It was pretty much like that. Pretty much for him, he imagines his mind, yeah, his willpower and his mind is so strong that he imagines his secrets behind the locked doors that are that are securely locked behind securely locked doors. So that's how he imagines his secrets at. So yeah. Now, basically, she was like, so not I. It's like, yes, Midoriya. I believe one of my students is trying to go after the hero killer for vengeance. Yeah. I was like, what makes you so sure? It's like, I saw his eyes with vengeance. And I know what vengeance looks like. I should know. And Zuru says, right before Nada could ask why, Zuko would just say, I've wanted vengeance on whoever killed my mother. But I conned myself hard enough. Well, I conned myself to the point where I don't want vengeance on that person. I just want to bring them to justice. And Nada is like, oh, okay. And, yeah. And he's like, so, Nada, what do you think we should do to make sure Ida doesn't get himself killed? And he's like, we need to find him before it's too late. He's like, I already have a checker on him. It's like, I make my own technology. It's like, oh, yeah. I'm smart enough to make my own technology. Heck, my mother's friend is literally Nabka. And he knows who that is. He's like, oh shit. It's like, yeah. Now we get to that day where Ida tries to get the hero colors, like, and Nara pretty much searching for it, pretty much helping Zuko help. Pretty much, he start out Rayo and Zuko to find Ida on that day. Zuko's like, I know exactly where they are. Come on, Mario. It's like, we're right there. And then they get to Mario's location, and he's about to get stabbed when they get there. And Zuko's like, no. And he pretty much runs over there and punches Stain in the back on his face. And he pretty much, and before Stain could look, Zuko immediately touched his hero button and changed into his bulletproof costume, because he saw a blade, so he thought this person must have some type of blood quirk. So he's like, why the hell not? So yeah. And she was like, Hiroko Stain, we are here to protect And pretty much Mario is like, so this is the hero killer? It's like, yes, it is. 1,000,000. And pretty much, Sting just goes like, no, more fake heroes. And then Zuko, when he hears that, and it goes like, pretty much, he's like, you know what? Fuck it. And he gets rid of his hero costume and goes like, fuck it. As soon as he says fuck it, his costume starts to go back into his person. It's like, fuck it. I don't care anymore. I am no fake hero. He pretty much releases bloodlust, which is almost at Stain's level. And he's like, I don't care. He's like, I don't care anymore. And Stain's like, this one has more bloodlust. It's like, I don't care. If you call me a fake hero, I just won't let a civilian die. And he's like, in fact, he pretty much pulls his shirt forward and grabs his heart locket. And it's like, 1,000,000, catch. And 1,000,000 grabs it and is like, hold on to that for a second. It's like, I have to teach this vigilante a lesson. Yeah, after that, Stain is like, okay, yeah, this is a true hero. Because, yeah, after he heard that statement from him, he's like, what is your name? It's like, Executive Midoriya. Or how I will be known as Demon Shadow. Or as you would know me as. And he pretty much sprints over there, pretty much blitzes over there, and whispers in his ear, Shadow Spider. And Stain's eyes widen. Because, yeah, that hero, that vigilante he idolizes. He sees Shadow Spider as a true hero. Not any of the heroes, except he's heard of Eraserhead, but he doesn't know if he will save anyone at any cost. Yeah. Stain is like, what? And he's like, indeed. It's like, now, fight me. And Stain is like, as you wish, Demon Shadow. It's like, perfect. Now, let our fight begin. And now they clash. And Lemillion's like, I wonder what this locket is. He pretty much looks at the locket, and then he slightly opens it. Because, yeah, he's a little bit curious, and he sees that a greenish black, pretty much a woman that is old enough to be a mother with green hair, and pretty much a Zuku. He's like, oh fuck, he's heard of this happening. And yeah, and they're pretty much close matched with armed. And she was like, Stain, hero killer, I will ask you this once. Have you ever trained yourself in unarmed combat? And Stain goes like, and this Stain actually knows unarmed combat. He's like, yes. It's like, good. Because your weapons won't cut through my suit. Because as far as I know, your weapons won't affect me. If I had that suit on, if I still had that suit on, your weapons wouldn't even be able to touch my skin. And Stan's like, oh? It's like, yes, I've made suits for almost every situation. Even bullet. I've made suit made of. He pretty much talking while fighting. It's like, I made suits that are bulletproof, electricity proof, fireproof, ice proof. Every single time. Everything. Pretty much everything I could think of. There's just one more suit I haven't made yet. And to me, it is the ultimate suit. It will be my final project to complete my collection. And he was like, oh, and what would that be? It's like, it's a suit made out of tiny machines that will recreate will pretty much fix itself the moment it gets damaged. And it will have all the defenses it needs without any faults. That would be the perfect. And he's like, and if you weren't killing, you would be spared. You would not be in this situation right now, but you are killing, so you're in this situation now. But I must ask you, who do you see as a true hero? And he's like, I would say that vigilante Shadow Spider is like, he gets a smirk and it's like, perfect. At least we have something in common. He's like, He's like, and they're both still, they're talking and fighting at the same time. Up until I was 4, while Izuku's blocking and dodging, up until I was 4, I thought the #1 hero was a true hero. But, no, he is not. And then, the incident and he says the date. And yes, Dana has heard of the date. Has heard of that incident. It's like, what happened on that day that made you change your mind? It's like, while he's still blocking him, pretty much on neutral, like between defenses and offensives, like, I saw my mother die, and none of those heroes acted to save her, except one. And he's like, and which one was that? Midoriya. Like, that would be Eraserhead. He almost got to her, but it was too late. And yeah, now he sees now he's starting to see it. And he's like, and that heart locket I gave to you 1 million. That's one of my memories of her. And this necklace is another. And I would not want for it to be destroyed. It's like, and Hero Killer, if you survive this encounter and you want to help me, and he says, whoops, for this Spiderman. And Stain's eyes widen again because, yeah, you see Stain as another true hero because he just saves people as much as he can. It's like, if you want to help the the vigilante Shadow Spider, go to these coordinates. And he pretty much, honestly, Satan has a phone, and you just pretty much, while he's still fighting, he uses one hand to grab a earpiece and put it on his ear. And then he taps and goes like, just says, here are coordinates if you want them. If you want to seek out this vigilante, go to these coordinates. And then he taps his earpiece and goes like, Travis, give him coordinates to our base. And Travis is like, of course. And then he takes off his earpiece and puts it in his pocket. It's like, and then Stain hears his phone go off. And it's like, It's like, now, if you don't want to be captured and want to meet another day, stop now and go far away before heroes could get here. Because I'm sure my friend Million would call it heroes by now. And Million did. So yeah, and it stands like, what makes me... Why? It's like, because I see you can be better than killing these fake heroes. I can see that you can do better than this. Now, go before I change my mind. And he pretty much kicks Stain back. And Stain just... I'm gonna imagine that Stain has a smoke bomb. Okay, I'm gonna say that Stain has a smoke bomb with him. And he pretty much just smoke bomb and climbs up the building and runs off. Yeah. And, well, Million wasn't there anymore. And Ida pretty much was being like... pretty much doing the same thing. But, yeah, you couldn't hear a single thing Izuku was talking to Stain about. And then Izuku's like, when the smoke cleared, Izuku was right in front of Ida and just looking down at him. Was like, you idiot. You really think that you could have taken down the hero killer by yourself with no information about him and no experience on fighting people. And yeah, Ida just looked down. It's like, well, actually, just put his face down. It's like, yeah, that's what I thought. It's like, Native, can you move now? It's like, yeah, I can. Because yeah, this is a few minutes after Stain left. So yeah, and she was like, good. Pick up this idiot. And he's like, sure. It's like, good. Now we skip to pretty much the to that hospital. And Izuku just walks in to Ida and just says, you pretty much slaps her on the head. I was like, you idiot. And yeah, Ida's like, yeah, I was stupid. It's like, yeah. And then the dog person goes in and says, pretty much does his thing, but when he was about to say something, Izuku just was like, excuse me, sir, but I did not use my quirk. And he's like, and Izuku just was like, and for your information, sir, if you look at my quirk on my document, and he pretty much brings up his document, pretty much, it's like, if you look at my quirk, you'll see why I say this. And pretty much, yeah, the dog person's like, so what? It's like, well, I give the credit to someone. I was like, give it to Native. It's like, for fighting off the hero killer. He's like, okay. Then he goes in. Then we skip to a week later, and Steen went to the exit doors of Izuku's base. And then Trevor tells him, Master Midoriya, we have a visitor at our exit doors of your base. He's like, alright then, I'll be over there real quick. And it's like, Peter, we have a visitor at our at the exit doors. It's like, oh, we do? It's like, yeah. Let's just say I gave this vigilante another chance. He's like, who is it? It's like, Hero Killer Stain. That guy is like, yeah. I see that if he didn't kill, he would be way better. It's like, yeah, probably. He's like, yeah. Anyway, let's meet him. And then, like, now, let's do this. And then he taps his vigilante outfit button and pretty much changes into, his original one. And Peter turned into, just pushes his button and gets his costume. I'm just gonna make it so Sugu just has him one costume that is pretty much his most powerful one right now. And he's starting to make one that pretty much has nano machines in it. Yeah, it'll take him a while, but he'll eventually get it. Now let's get to when they get to the exit doors of the base. And Stan's like, so. And Sugu's like, just thinks of the costume off. It's like, just takes off his mask and is like, so, Hero Killer, I see you're here. It's like, yes, I thought of your offer. It's like, and he says, I accept. It's like, good. Now, be a good lad and wait for a second. It's like, what for? And also, he's also made a platform that elevates up from the exit doors. It's like, give me a minute. And then he puts on it, basically, and goes like, Jarvis, you know what to do. He's like, yes, sir. And then he opens then Jarvis opens the exit doors, and they see a platform lifting up to the top. He's like, get on, Stan. We'll meet you there. And then he gets on it. And he's like, actually, wait a minute. Then he's like, Spider-Man. He doesn't say Peter. Just imagine he said Spider-Man. It's like, Spider-Man, get on the platform, please. It's like, sure. And then he gets on the platform. He gets on the platform. It's like, Jarvis. And then they go down. And the exit door closes while the light of the place opens. And yeah, when Stan sees the base, he's like, holy cow, this is big. It's like, yeah, it was smaller originally. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, I expanded for Spider-Man. Or, as I know him, it's like, take it off. And he takes off his mask. It's like, Peter Parker. It's like, and Stan's like, So he's like, so, what is your name? It's like, Stan. It's like, good. Now we know each other. Now we can work together perfectly. But I need to gain your trust for me to actually make you a new costume for you. It's like, It's like, your costume is not perfect for what you can do perfectly. I can make something exactly like your like the costume you have now. I just gotta make improvements to it. It's like, alright then. It's like, good. Now, let us go. And then Sugu grabs Stain by his arm and pretty much Peter and Sugu just swing over to the main part of the base. And then they drop. And he goes up Stain. He's like, there. Now, here is the base. And then he sees the base. He's like, oh, this is amazing. He's like, thank you. I've made it myself. He's like, with some help. Looks at Peter, and then he looks pretty much right at the entrance, and he goes like, what's up there? It's like, that's the entrance, no less. Where we came from was the exit. It's like, what? It's like, yeah. You didn't know? It's like, nope. It's like, good. Good, no one will know. It's a good thing no one knows of my base even existing. It's like, how long have you had this base for? It's like, when I was about 8. It's like, holy fuck. It's like, yeah. Now, there's 2 other people that know of our identities as vigilantes. Meg Peter and Namke. Yeah, Namke. And it's like, ain't that the person that owns that company? He's like, yeah. He is. And yeah, he has his heart locket back. He gets the heart locket pretty much under that shirt. It's like, so. He pushes his vigilante button. Well, actually, no, it just thinks up. And going back into his bracelet, and it does. And Peter's bracelet does the same thing. And yeah, she was like, so, Stain, if you want a better suit, and you want to be better partners with us, you're gonna have to gain our trust. Which means like, I can work with that. It's like, good. Now, let me introduce you to that cause. And then, yeah, she was like, just grabs his earpiece from his pocket and puts it on. He's like, then taps the earpiece and goes like, Jarvis, open entrance. Like, and then, yeah. And then Sting's like, what is he doing? It's like, basically he has a supercomputer that has an artificial intelligence on it, which he calls Jarvis. Like, oh, okay. And then they see he was like, come on, Sting. Peter, come on. Like, and Peter just starts walking out. And he walks out, and Sting's like, oh, okay. And yeah, when they get out of the base, yeah, it closes behind them. And then she's like, Stain, wait out here. I don't want Nakaz to freak out. Stain's like, no, okay. And then he just waits out back. And yeah, she just walks in with Peter and goes like, Nakaz, I'm back. It's like, it's Yuki, you're back. It's like, yeah. We have a new member to our vigilante group. It's like, oh, who is it? It's like, look at the back window. And he looks at the back window and he sees Stain. He's like, oh, it's Hero Killer Stain? It's like, yeah. I'm gonna get him to not kill anymore. So, I don't know what his new vigilante name will be, but it'll be something, in my opinion, it'll be something better than Hero Killer. It's like, yeah, probably. And now we get to, she was like, Stain, you can come in now. Yeah, Stain comes in and it's like, just talking normally now. It's like, hello. And Narcos goes like, hello, Stain. Hello, Hero Killer. She was like, his name is Stain. He's like, hello, Stain. It is nice to meet you. Yeah, he shakes his hand. It's like, good. Now, Peter, I'm pretty sure you're going to want to tell your aunt about this. She's like, oh yeah, you're right. And then he walks over to his house and tells Aunt May about this. And it's like, and she's like, oh, okay. So yeah. Now we skip to the next day, and Jenny's like, so, what's our plan for the night? It's like, well, for tonight, we're gonna be scouting out out the areas for anything bad. It's like, alright. It's like, unless I know some type of trip. If we do, you two will be secretly following the bus that I would be in. It's like, oh, okay. Actually, he was like, wait, no, if I'm not here for a while, you two will be scouting it out the city for any crime. And things like, any crime? Was like, yes. Me and Peter try to stop every crime we can. And things like, ooh, I'm gonna like this. Like, yes, but Dane, could you please try to stop killing? Things like, of course. It's like, good. Now for the, and she was like, and for the spike heroes, I have an idea for you. It's like, what is that? It's like, just give them a scar big enough for them to realize that they're being stupid and change their ways. And things like, okay. And yeah, he's gonna start doing that now. And yeah, then Suzuki gets to school and he talks in Aizawa talked about, wait, actually no, NASA finally, yeah, NASA, yeah, NASA, yeah, NASA finally, yeah, Zuko and Nasha had feelings for each other, but they never expressed them. But Nasha finally expressed her feelings towards Zuko first, right before they went to the school. And yeah, Zuko's like, huh, same here. And then they became a couple. Yeah. And Kinsman was like so manly when he's figured out that they're a couple now. It's like, good for you two. And yeah, they're like, and Zuko's like, hey Kirishima, it's like, who do you have a crush on? And he's like, it's like, ha, got ya. It's like, no fair. It's like, yeah. You'll get one eventually, don't worry. So, and that's where I'm gonna end it off for now. And in a little bit, I'll do the next part after this. Anyway, peace.